I was probably the happiest man on earth for about 62 minutes of that night's game until Adam O'Brien decided to ruin my night by taking Jaden Brayley off. Still an awesome performance. I understand why he came off. They needed like faster ruck speed or faster speed in general, chasing some points late. But what the fuck is Adam O'Brien doing? It was a close game, right? He had 2 subs left and didn't even use his 8 subs, even with a Kalen Ponga injury. Used one of them for Dylan Lucas with 2 minutes left. Like in such a close game, that stuff like that matters so much. And yeah, just ridiculous coaching. I would have loved to see Brailey get the 80 out there because he was on track for 75-ish. He was going nearly a point a minute. So yeah, unbelievable score from him. He's going to make bulk cash now with that 58. He's probably going to go up about 56K and then has a negative break even next week. So yeah, was absolutely stoked with that. Just would have liked to see him get 75, 80 minutes. Not too concerned moving forward. Like obviously we brought him in because we thought he was going to play 80 or at least close to. He's played 80 and 72 minutes in the last 2 games. But yeah, like I said, just that sort of game, they just needed faster speed, chasing points late. And the Knights suck, so chances are it'll happen again where they're chasing points and he'll come off. But yeah, not concerned overall. And if he's pumping out a 58, I'm going to bring him in every day of the week. Just the annoying part is I obviously traded Hosking out for him. And he averaged 43 in my team for 5 or 6 weeks and then pumps out a 71, which I knew he could do. I didn't want to trade him because all his historical data with much larger sample size was in the high 50s, low 60s. So yeah, didn't want to trade him, but my hand was forced. Now it looks like Tarpanay has some sort of injury. It just looks like a dislocation. So I'm sure he's right next week. But if he's out, and then if Koloamatangi's out, or even just one of them, then I need Hosking for next week as a loop option. So yeah, really frustrating swing there, but I still would have done it. I probably would have done it. I would have done it for someone else, but yeah, I would have brought Brailey in either way. Just annoying that Hosking decides to pump out that sort of game. Plays 80 as well, which, yeah, just classic. Just fantasy, right? I can't seem to get these 50-50 decisions right lately. I've been lucky with some, absolutely, like keeping Haas when I was intending not to, but yeah, just the bulk of them, I'm probably hitting about 25% of them, but really stoked with Brailey's score. It was a really mixed night in fantasy in general. I'm not too disappointed with how it went. Like guys like Jazz scored lower when I don't own them, but then other guys went bigger. So yeah, very mixed night. It would have been a much better night if Luai hadn't been out. I put a post out probably about 1, 2 p.m. today after Luai was ruled out, saying that it's so slow when I try and film, saying that I was actually going Hines to Latu Fainu in the end because Luai's out. I expected Latu to eat the bulk of the kick meters, which meant his floor was higher. He would get stronger base, and that's for this week and next week. With obviously Luai either out with his infection or playing Origin, and I would assume he's playing Origin. I'm assuming he's fine, but yeah, he's out next week, and that's fine. I didn't want to do it this week because I didn't want to play Latu Fainu. But then with all that stuff, I was happy to play him in the end. So I did make the trade and he gets a 35. So yeah, I was so close to avoiding that. He did get the bulk of the kick meters. They probably changed the spine 6-7 times in that game without any injuries. It was crazy. Heath Mason went from fullback to 5'8", back to fullback. Latu Fainu moved to the left for about 10 minutes, then moved back to the right. Adam Dewey played halves. Api Coruscant, Heath Mason all played in the halves alongside Latu. So very strange. Next week, it's absolutely going to be Adam Dewey in the halves. Coruscant's out with a Cat 1 concussion. De Silva is probably not on the team next week. They might try and force his hand to keep him now, but yeah, I don't think that's going to go down well with his agent. So yeah, I would fully expect Adam Dewey. And Adam Dewey looked the best in that team in the 5'8" position today out of the 14 players they played there. And Latu Fainu did look the best with Dewey there, but Latu wasn't kicking when that happened. So yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I absolutely would not have done this trade, and I can't wait to see Hines pump out a 70 on Sunday. So yeah, another 50-50 that didn't go my way, unfortunately, but it's cool. It's just fantasy. It's all good. So yeah, very mixed night. I'm taking Garrick's score now. I'm not going to make a trade. I was kind of hoping he'd do badly because he's 90% owned, but it's not the worst result because I would have had to either play Jed Stewart or force a trade for like a Latrell Mitchell or something like that. So yeah, in the end, I'm happy Garrick scored well. 49's fine. Like, it's very passable and definitely not worth making a trade for. And yeah, Tarpanay had an awesome first stint, was on 35, and then came back on with 28 minutes to go and got 14. So yeah, I thought he was going to go on with it for like a 60, 70. That didn't happen. Jed Stewart with a 31 is actually pretty good as a cash down. Hopefully he gets 30 plus next week when I need him. That would be awesome, but not expecting the world. But yeah, Brailey was awesome. Really, really stoked with that score. Again, would have liked to see more minutes because he was on track for 75, but it's cool. Very mixed night. I'm on, it says 384, but I need to include Garrick. So I'm on 433, sorry, with 7 played, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 played. So obviously I'm not taking Jed Stewart's score unless like Drinkwater's out or something, then I have to pivot, but that's fine. So yeah, 433 with 7, so I'm behind par. Behind by 5 on that one and behind by 20 there. So not ideal. Who have I actually played? Like, I've played 1 keeper, 2 keepers, 3 keepers, 4 keepers. So yeah, 4 out of 7 keepers. So yeah, it's not disastrous. But yeah, Latu Fainu was annoying to pick up, but that's cool. I feel like I've done a lot of complaining so far. Sorry, wasn't intending to do that way. It'll be more positive from now on. Terrell May was really good. That's good. He wasn't like super high captain, like at 77%. That's the lowest it's been in a while. So yeah, it was good to see him pump out a big score. It actually kind of mattered this week. Usually like it's 95% owned captaincy. So yeah, it honestly doesn't matter if he scores a 2 or a 200. So it was cool to see him get a good score today. The good news is Latu Fainu was super well picked up, which we obviously expected. 45% in the top 1,000 picked him up. Yeah, it would have been awesome to avoid that one, but I think he'll be better. Like, he looked good in real life. His run game looks good. He just couldn't break any tackles. Yeah, I don't expect him to kick much. His kicking game wasn't super strong. He looked like he was doing bombs from his own half. Like, it looked like that was his only kick, and then he had 1 or 2 like 50-metre kicks, which were better. But yeah, Adam Dewey will probably command most of the kick meters next week. I don't think Latu took 1 with Dewey in the 5/8 spot. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I probably won't play him unless Jerome Hughes or Savala are out for any reason. Yeah, Fletcher Sharp 80% traded out is crazy. What else in this one? Oh, Reece Walsh. So he's 8.6% picked up. If you can reverse that trade, Kalen Pong is out. He left the game with like 25 to go with a foot injury, and if he's coming out, it's not the best news when they were chasing the game and almost won. So yeah, NRL Physio, he did tweet something just before I started filming. He said he couldn't see the video too well, but there's not many foot injuries that are back in 10 days, like for Origin 3. So yeah, I would fully expect Reece Walsh to be lining up at fullback for Origin 3, which I honestly thought he was a big chance of doing anyway. That's why I didn't get him last week. So that is a 50-50 I got right, I guess. Unless Walsh pumps out like an 80 next week. Yeah, Walsh is still a good option, but if you need him for next round, and that's primarily the reason you're getting him, I would absolutely reverse that if you can. Because yeah, he loses a lot of value. And Real Physio's just said something. Not sure. A real mystery what happened to Tarpanay. So yeah, if it's a dislocated finger, Tarpanay should be good, hopefully. But yeah, I'd reverse Reece Walsh if you can. Let's get into the 2 games now. I think it's this one. So yeah, Manly way too good. The Tigers looked shocking, to be honest. Yeah, Benji would have been spewing at that one. That was like 0-0 for 38 minutes. And yesterday we had the Bulldogs-Panthers with like no points at all, 14 to finish, and that was an incredible game. And then this one was an absolute stinker and a low-scoring game. We got a few tries late and stuff like that, but yeah, 0-0 after 38 minutes. No one was really scoring well in fantasy, and yeah, it was a terrible game. So not the best watch, but it's cool. Benny Turbo pumped out 61 there, so that's interesting. He's not really an option anymore. There was a few people who had him back in the day, but I think he's had a few bad scores lately. And yeah, I wouldn't be picking up someone like a mid-ranger like that this close to round 18, like this part of the season. So yeah, but really good score, one of his best lately. Cherry Evans with a 54. So yeah, he was a really interesting pickup in round 15. I actually really wanted to do it. He's been kicking like 500-600 meters every week. Was really low today at 194. Sorry, NRL Physio has just said something. For Tarpanay, if it's a dislocation, he'll be sweet for next week. If fractured, he'll be out for 3 to 6 weeks. I actually wouldn't mind. I always say this, but obviously I'm not rooting for injuries, but just in terms of fantasy, I wouldn't mind if Tarpanay's out for 3 to 6 weeks ordinarily, because he's like 70% owned and I have more trades than most. Well, actually not really anymore. I only have 7, which is crazy. But yeah, like I am in a better position. I do invite the chaos generally, but yeah, I traded Hosking, so I would have, I'll be spewing if he is out, to be honest. Yeah, back on Daly Cher Evans. Yeah, he didn't even get the bulk of the kick meters today, but there was only 500 to go around, so wouldn't be too concerned if you do have him. He should be back to normality with his kick meters soon. And yeah, still pumping out a 54 when he's not kicking much is good, and only 16 tackles as well. So obviously the 2 try assists and the 3 offloads helped, but yeah, he's showing he can do it in more ways than one, which is good. Tommy Turbo, really cool to see him get through a game at centre without any really injury mishaps or anything. Like he looked healthy. 15 tackles is good. 7 tackle breaks, really the highlight. Yeah, he has not been creating that space or anything. Like going into contact, he's been standing upright the last couple of weeks and just like waiting for the tackle to happen. But he got 7 today, which is really good signs. And yeah, he got whacked by Skelton and yeah, got bounced straight back up. So really good signs from him. He's not 100% healthy by any means, but this is the healthiest he's looked in quite a while, and it's always good to see guys like him, Radley, stuff like that, who are so injury prone to get through games. And a 49 is a really good score. So if you did take a flyer on him, that's good to see. There's a chance I bring him in next week if Jed Stewart scores badly, but I am getting kind of thin on trades now, so I might have to get a keeper, but I don't know who's actually available as a keeper. But yeah, we'll discuss that next round anyway. Ruben Garrick with a 49, so yeah, I did think there was a chance he'd defend at centre if he was on Tommy's side, but someone was injured. I can't remember who, so he moved to the left and was obviously just going to defend on the wing. 49's good. So yeah, he obviously goal kicks, got a try, a couple of line breaks. The meters gained is strong. That's a good sign. I don't think he's going to get high 40s every week. Obviously, without a try, that goes down, but it was only a 12-point try. There was no tackle breaks or anything. So yeah, if he's getting high 30s, low 40s, that's not too bad at winger fullback, but on the wing, sorry, but I'm going to be trading him after next week for sure. I think Manly had the bye in round 19 from memory, and yeah, he's not a keeper, so he'll be gone from my team after next week, but hopefully he scores well then. Corey Waddell, so he was 80 minutes on the edge. We kind of figured that would be the case, but he's not super fantasy relevant. And a couple of guys yesterday I said, someone like Viliami Kikar, I think it was, wasn't fantasy relevant. So if I'm just talking in these recaps, I'm not actually looking at stuff like that. So I'm just like talking off the cusp. So apologies if someone like Corey Waddell is fantasy relevant. It's not an attack against him or anything. Like I'm just probably misspeaking for a few of these guys. I mainly focus on like guys that are fantasy relevant. So yeah, if someone has a good score like Corey Waddell, they might actually be scoring better than I think they are. But I do like that people point it out because it means I look at those guys. So yeah, I looked at Viliami Kikau after a couple of guys commented that they have him or he's been scoring really, really well. And yeah, he's averaging like 54, so crazy. His offload's like 4 or 5 a game lately. So yeah, he is coming into fantasy relevancy. I think he's still a step below the tier 1 guys. He's probably in that tier 2 with KPP, stuff like that. His history isn't great. Like I think he averaged 39 last year, 38 the year before, but he does have some history in the high 40s. Yeah, this is definitely a standout year and he's looked awesome. Just the offloads carrying him. There's a few guys this year that have really increased their offloads. Like Greg Mars, who at the start of the year was offloading 4 or 5 a game. Kiraz has bumped his up. Herbie, incredible. Payne Haas. So yeah, heaps of guys are. I really think offloads are huge this year. Yeah, good game from him, but I don't think he was fantasy relevant. Jakey Turbo. So I did look at him when I was doing my trade videos, as looking for pods. I talked about him like 6 weeks ago, after he had a couple of games where he got concussed early. And yeah, he's like 400k, but he probably had about 8-9 points of value. He wasn't playing 80 or close to lately, and I thought Jazz would come into lock in his second stint. So yeah, didn't really think he was a great option. I think he's priced at 30 or something though, which is super low for him. Yeah, 72 minutes is good. If he's playing that every week, I think he is a potential cash cow or mid-range cash generation guy. But yeah, I don't think he's going to play 72 every week. But 45 is good from him. Ethan Bullymore, yeah, pretty standard game from him. He's usually going about a point a minute for mid-40s. Jazz Tavanga was a little bit annoying for those who owned him. He played the first stint, like 28 minutes or so at hooker, then came back on with 20 to go and played lock. Just didn't get many runs, which means he's not going to get many offloads and stuff. He did have a back fence run off kickoff where he got 2 tackle breaks, which was good, and then he knocked it on. So a bit unfortunate there. They didn't have any captain's challenges. I don't think they would have won it anyway, but yeah, 42 in 49 minutes in base is really strong, but he just had a few negatives today, like 3 6 agains and 4 missed tackles. So yeah, he might update a little bit. He might get to like 37, 38, but it's so hard to track updates the last couple of days, like yesterday and today, because the stats have been like 5 to 10 minutes behind. It's so annoying to watch because like you can see your guys making 3-4 tackles. It took Latu Fainu 30 minutes to get his tackle breaks, which were clear as day. So yeah, it is a bit annoying when you're trying to track it. I don't know about you guys, but I always check like every 3 minutes I'm looking down at my phone and seeing what my guys are scoring because I mentally keep track of how many points there should be on. And then I'm like, if they're 1 or 2 points behind, I'm like, hey, give me our points. But yeah, that's just something I do. I don't know if everyone's that in depth or you're actually watching the footy to watch the footy. I'm literally just watching it for fantasy. Hey, I'm a Cowboys fan. Like I find it so hard to root for them now because I just root for my guys in fantasy. So like in this game, if Jaden Campbell was playing, I'd be rooting for him to get like a 80-meter try, and I don't care if the Cowboys win. It's so bad. Like fantasy has taken over. It's like betting. Like if you're betting on a result, like you're rooting for that over like watching the sport or going for your team. And I don't know if I'm just a degenerate like that for fantasy, but yeah, I just struggle to actually root for a team. It's the same as NBA fantasy and stuff like that. It's terrible. Like fantasy and betting like ruin your sport watching experience because you're only rooting for some results. That's my perspective anyway. But it's all fun anyway. No one else really in this game. Lehigh Hopawate had a few fans from a few creators, I think, as like a pod. His data isn't great. I think he was averaging 40s long-term at fullback and he's priced pretty close to there. He's a nice pod. Like he has been better this year when Tommy's been out. And obviously Tommy's moving to centre now. So he has that runway where he's going to play a few more games at fullback. But yeah, never really liked it. That's why I didn't talk about him as a pod. And he was really bad with his hands today. Like just made a few simple errors on his own. Like they were just like downfield kicks from Latu Fainu and he did the splits trying to get into his in goal once, and yeah, just a couple of clean drops. So not his best game. He will be better than that though. 27 in that sort of game is fine, I guess, because he was shocking. Moving on to the Tigers side. Oh, we just got updates in because Terrell May was on 75. Jazz Tavanga did go up 1, so that's cool. I'm trying to remember. Corey Waddell went up 3, I think that is. Terry Evans down 2 or 3. That's about it from that side, I think. Terrell May went up 1. Latu Fainu stayed the same. I'm trying to think who was on this side. I think that's all that I know. Yeah, Terrell May with a 76 now, boosted from 75. 50 tackles without a miss is just classic him at the moment. The minutes are slightly lower. So he was playing like the first 50, 55 minutes the last 2 weeks, coming off for that 10 to 12 minute spell and then coming back on. This game wasn't close and he still came back on, so that's a good sign. I still captained him knowing that was a chance after last week, but he's just too good. Like 76 in 68 minutes is crazy. He's kind of put the offloads away this week, or they're just wrapping him up better in tackles. Yeah, he's doing it in base. His base is insane and he has that attacking potential, obviously. So yeah, surefire captain every week. Adam Dewey, that's a really interesting one. I would be keen on him next week if Savala's out or something, or if I need a loop option. But if I didn't get Latu Fainu, so having Latu means he's not going to be an option for me or probably anyone. But yeah, he looked really good at 5'8", and he's guaranteed to play there next week, in my opinion. He'll get probably 400 or 500 kick meters, I'd say, depending on what sort of game it is. But I think he'll be the dominant kicker over Latu. So yeah, I think he'll have a good score next week. I don't know who they verse or anything like that. Oh, it's the Roosters, sorry, because I've talked about that with Latu. But yeah, he should be good next week, but long term, probably not. Jack Bird played 74 in the second row. Yeah, it's a good score, but I don't know what his stats are in second row with big minutes, but this guy is so versatile that he will just move anywhere. Like with any backline injury, he's moving straight to centre. He can move back to the interchange lock, and his role is never secure. So I just can't do it no matter what. I think, did he start the year starting centre, or did he start on the bench and he was meant to start centre? I can't remember. He was like 300k, and I was not interested at all because I know exactly what he is. So yeah, good score. If he was guaranteed this role every week, then he might be an option. But you just never know with him. Samuel Fainu with a 42. So yeah, talked about him the last couple of weeks as a Tallis Duncan alternative at cheaper price. I think he got a 48 last week and then a 42 this week. It's not too bad. The 80 minutes is all that really matters for him. And Tony Suka was on the bench, who usually spells him, and he still played 80. So that's a good sign. 42 is good because I think his price at 30. Yeah, you'd probably want him to score a little bit better than that, but that's 12 points of value if he's doing that every week. So yeah, you'll take that for sure. Talon De Silva with a 42 and 41 minutes with a try, but 33 tackles is really good. If this guy moves teams to the Eels or Manly, I think it is, and he's starting, he's going to be in everyone's team next year. He could actually be an option this year, to be honest. He's 230k, and if he gets a bigger role, which is the reason he's moving, like I can't imagine he moves to a situation where he's not the starting hooker, because that's exactly why he's moving. So he actually might be an option as a cash down as of next week, because he has to move before June 30 or he's not moving at all. So either the start of next year or in a week's time, he'll be a good option. And I probably should have thought about that as a reason not to get Latu Fainu, actually. So yeah, that's silly of me. Speaking of, 35, it's fine. Like it's obviously good for his price. It's not great if you played him this week, obviously. Like I shouldn't have done it. I don't know why I did. That's so dumb. Kick meter's good, but that's not going to continue with Luai in the team and probably not even next week. Meters gained is good. Tackle count is actually good. 19 tackles is really strong. I thought he would tackle heaps, being someone who has moved into lock the last couple of weeks. And yeah, he's a bigger frame. He looked good defensively. He was not tackling at all in the first half and still got up to 10. So if your half's making 20 tackles, that's pretty good. But they did not run his side at all, and he still got 19 tackles. So yeah, very happy with that. I think he'll be a 25 per game tackle guy, which is strong. And if he's not missing many, then his base should be okay. He's going to have attacking stats guaranteed, like try assists, tackle breaks, line breaks. He looks like he's going to break the line every time. His service that he got was terrible. Like he couldn't do anything really because they were just making no forward movement, and the passes he were getting were like behind him. So yeah, like it wasn't his sort of game, but I think he'll be good long term. I just wish I hadn't brought him in this week, but yeah, the signs are there for sure. Who else? Heath Mason was like 3% picked up, I think. He fell out of this in the end, but he was like 2.8% picked up, I think. So yeah, some people picked him up. He got a 28, which isn't too bad. I think he had a turnover tackle at one stage. Yeah. Not the best score. I honestly didn't even look into him because he obviously has no history really. I think he might have played like 3 or 4 games at fullback. I didn't bother looking into him knowing that Latu Fainu was probably the better option. I'll look into it now so I don't misspeak, but yeah, if you picked him up, it's not super ideal. He moved roles like 3 or 4 times in that game, so very hard to evaluate him off that score and in that game, but hopefully he's better moving forward if you did pick him up, if this loads. Oh, and then Appy, so yeah, he got a Cat 1, so he's going to be out. He could get back to an appealing price. I think he's like 650k though already, so yeah, obviously we're going to want Harry Grant and Connor Watson over someone like him anyway, but yeah, we'll see what his price gets to. My computer's so slow at night. When it's in the day, it's fine, and then at night it just fucks up. 36. He averages. So what was that last year? He averaged 42 at fullback last year, so that's actually really good. 7.7 tackle breaks. From what I've seen this year, he doesn't look like a massive tackle break guy, And I'm not just saying that because he's had 3 and 1 tackle breaks, but he's like a smaller frame. He doesn't look like he's going to break many, but I mean, he did last year, so who knows which is closer to the truth. And yeah, again, it's not the game to evaluate, unfortunately. We'll move on to the better game. So Knights just lost to the Raiders. So Raiders looked really good early. It was 16-0. Knights looked like they had nothing. That's probably their 9th game this year without scoring at halftime. But yeah, they had better signs in the second half. But yeah, not their sort of game, I guess. James Schiller with a 72, that's crazy. 280 metres. He's been so up and down this year in real life. He seems to still pump out decent fantasy scores even when he's terrible in real life, but he's just that sort of player. Like, he busts tackles for fun, metres gained is strong. He's not super fantasy relevant. I did talk about him probably just over a month ago as a potential pod, but yeah, like, he's so up and down. He's had a few decent scores. I think he was on -4 at halftime the other week and pumped out a 50. So yeah, just very up and down, and obviously not playing round 18 or anything like that. Phoenix Crossland with a 62. So I quickly looked at him when I was evaluating Brailey, and he's pumped out back-to-back 60s. Back-to-back 60s now in an 80-minute lock roll, splitting a little bit at hooker as well. And that's really strong. But his data at 80 minutes, 70 plus minutes at hooker isn't great. So that kind of scared me off. And obviously I wanted Brailey over him. But yeah, he would be a super pod. I think he's like 550K or something like that. So yeah, if you were considering it, hopefully you did bite the bullet, because crazy base there. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there anyway. Brailey, really good. Absolutely stoked with the 59. Obviously got the try save, but then the base is really strong, like 50 tackles with only 1 miss. Meters gained, not great, but it's pretty Brailey-like. He does have a kick in him, which he didn't get today. He got 1 tackle break. I don't think that sticks. It's like when the mark is not square and they just run straight into that. Like, Brailey just ran straight into him and just pushed him off, but the guy didn't try and make a tackle, and they don't usually give that a tackle break. So I'm assuming he down dates to a 57, a 56 on the NRL Fantasy app, because they round up here, but not on NRL Fantasy. So yeah, I'm expecting to go down to a 56. The tackle count seemed accurate from what I was tracking, but yeah, still an awesome score for someone priced at 350K or something like that. KPP with a 53, so that's not bad. He moved to the centre for a while, and yeah, like, you'll take a 53 in that sort of game. He did get an offload, and that's about it at centre, but that carried his score because he was in like low 40s, I think, when he moved there. Dylan Lucas with the 45, nothing concerning. Like, he's such a strong ball runner, just didn't get much of it tonight. Yeah, he was really good. He wasn't really good, sorry, but he is really good. So I'm not concerned by that, and he's like 90+% owned. So I don't even like watch these sort of guys. Dan Gagai with a 40, that's decent because he was on a terrible score early. Who else in this game? KP, yeah, so that foot injury, we'll see what happens, but yeah, I'd say he's about a 10% chance of playing Origin. Even if he's healthy, I think they'll just give it to Walsh now unless he's terrible. Dom Young looks pretty solid in real life. Obviously he has his faults, but yeah, like, he looks strong under the high ball. His running game is so strong, so he's actually getting to an appealing price as well, but I don't think we'll have room for him unless he has another bad game or two and then he gets super low in price. No one else super fantasy relevant in that game that I can think of. We obviously had heaps of Knights guys earlier in the season, but within round 18 bye, KPP was actually like 2.5% owned. So yeah, the Knights are just coming out of fantasy relevancy after their round 12 and 15 bye. When they played in round 12 and 15, sorry. Zach Hosking with a 71. What a piece of shit. Yeah, he looked really good. And I knew this was coming. I didn't want to trade him. I was close last week because I was almost forced into it. Then he scores terrible last week and then pumps out this week. So he's not heavily owned. I think it's like 10%, but that's not why I care. It's because I traded him out. So yeah, still not mad. I traded him out for Brailey, who got a 59 and is way cheaper and will make more money. But yeah, I just wish it was for someone else in the end. But I honestly literally had no one else unless it was Jaden Campbell. Corey Horsburgh, another one with a 70 in 58 minutes. So he's been good the last couple of weeks. He's just that tier below. So he's about the McInnes level in that low 50s who there's so many options there. So I don't view him as an end of season keeper, which is why I traded him. But if you have him, definitely keep him for round 18 and keep him for as long as these minutes are high. If he's playing 55 plus minutes, he is close to a keeper. It just doesn't happen every week, but it has the last two, I think. KO Weeks with a 62. Can't remember who it was, but someone picked him up in the comment section a couple of weeks back. I didn't love it. Just based on his historical data at fullback, he's a lot better at 5'8", but he's pumped out a couple of good scores now. I think the week the guy got him in, he scored a 17, but I think he's been pretty solid since then. So hopefully you kept him after that because he looked really good tonight. 288 metres and a try. Jamal Fogarty with a 59. See, he must have got that turnover tackle late, which is annoying as a non-owner. I think he's like 30-40% owned. He was just ticking along. I think he had mid-30s at halftime and then slowed down a bit and then got a few late cheap points, which is good. So 59 is really strong from him. Semi Sasangi, that was a cool option. If he did it, I didn't talk about him and didn't include him on the pod list, which potentially I should have. But it's just really this week and next week. So the reason he is actually a good option is because centre is so hard next week and he'll actually score pretty well if he's second row, which he should be. 58 tonight is really good. He looked awesome. Like he got that try early, but his running game was huge. A couple of offloads, 164 metres. Really, really strong. Tom Starling with a pretty Tom Starling game at 53. So he's been good this year. If he was playing 80 every week, he would be one of the standout hookers in the league. Tarpanay, 49. He really slowed down in that second stint. The Knights were just controlling the ball and he just didn't get that many chances for offloads, tackle breaks. Another game with no tackle breaks. He had the 3 offloads early. It's fine. Hopefully he's not out for 3 to 6 weeks and he's back next week, please. Otherwise, I'm going to really regret that Hosking one, but it is what it is. Who else in this game? No one else really. Jed Stewart with a 30 is good. Got that try. He was hovering around 4 for I think he was on 4 at halftime and a bit after that. Then got a try and then a turnover tackle back to back. So he could have scored a few early in the game. They would have only been like 8 or 12 point tries, but he was wide open on the wing and they just missed him twice. I didn't really care what he scored. He's just a cash down. I only care about him next week, but a 30 is good. He'll make a little bit more money. And if he keeps scoring, he will make close to 150k, which would be cool. But even then, I don't even know if I'd sell him. So I just hope he gets a try and maybe a 35 next week, and then I'll be a happy man. But we'll take it. He was quite heavily picked up. Where is he? 4.3%, which is pretty heavy for a guy like Jed Stewart. And that's about it from that game, I think. So we'll move on. It's pretty late. It's like 10:30 already because the game's finished so late. So I'll probably post this one tonight because why not? But no one really sees them when I post them this late. But good luck this round. Hopefully tonight went well for you. I think there's going to be heaps of mixed results. Hopefully you avoided Latu Fainu, but I think he'll be better the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So enjoy your weekend, guys. And I'm going to the Wars game tomorrow, so don't know if I'll get a video out. I'll be pretty sourced. Going out with my father-in-law, so that'll be fun. I'm going to be hammered, so maybe a video on Sunday, depending on how I'm feeling. But enjoy your weekend. Good luck this round, and we'll see you later.